Have you ever wondered, with all of this wave of vibe coding, how can you actually incorporate it into your product processes? How can you get the most out of it so that your team has access to them, so that they can give feedback on what you create, and so that it becomes an asset and not just another thing for engineers to review? Well, we've introduced it in Zentrik. Now you don't need to spend as much time defining exactly what is going to be your prompt for Lovable, what is going to go into bold, how are you going to define it for magic patterns, because independently of the initiatives that you have to work on, and here we're looking at Zoom's marketplace instance, you will be able to now have Zentrik help you generate the specific prompts for the tools that you're using. Be it the basic prototype that we generate with HTML, a whole prompt that will be quite lengthy that you can take into any platform, including Cursor, or prompts specific for each of the platforms. V0 has an SDK, and so the integration is deeper. You can even see the prototypes in Zentrik. For the rest of them, when you click them, Zentrik will actually understand what are the existing fortes and limitations of each of these platforms and generate for you a prompt that is tailored for that platform to do the best job on the objective that you have building this product. So as you can see, the prompt is being written with the key sections that I always recommend. If you've been to my events where we teach product people how to use vibe coding, you would be somewhat familiar with this. Now, when this prompt is completed, we have a couple of options. We can either edit it in line and change whatever we want, of course, copy it and take it to a platform, or directly open it on our tool of choice. In this case, that is Lovable. And with just a couple of clicks, the prototype will start to get built. Just to go a little bit over the why, we are giving the tool sufficient information to build a good prototype, but not too much to confuse it, to add context that is just going to extract from the attention, and ensuring that we focus on the areas that matter, the events that are going to drive the success of this prototype for the specific objective that we've set out. Well, now, whilst this loads, I'm just going to show you the flow where you can update the link so that all of your team can later reference that same prototype. And it's what I'm going to use now to also look at the prototype I generated before this recording. In this case, this was generated for the same meeting app suggestions. And when I start the transcript, I will start to see the transcript of the different attendees and the suggestions that come from the specific messages that they're receiving. I could click on install that app, it fakes that asynchronous integration, and continues the meeting. So here we go. In less than a couple of minutes, we got from an initial idea to a set of requirements and a prototype that we can share with our team, because if an image is worth 1,000 words, what would an interactive prototype be? Thank you, and talk to you all soon.